Okay, here we are with our defending celebrity champion of the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions, Derek Lowe. Thank you for being here today. Just going to kick things off asking how excited you are to be back at the tournament and defending your title.
I'm very excited. It's an honor anytime you get invited into these tournaments. It's great to see a lot of friends, but it's nerve-wracking, to kind of it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me last year to play with my good friend Nelly Korda 3 rounds, got to play with Annika, got to play with Danielle, and you want to duplicate that, knowing full well it's going to be hard. But I get to play with Nelly again tomorrow, which I can't wait for. Mm-hmm. Lake Nona is just a phenomenal golf course. I think it's harder than it was last year, and it's going to be a tough challenge for all of us.
Nelly did mention she was excited to play with you.
Yes.
We asked her.
Yes. She got my money I gave her.
We asked her for some fun stories between the two of you. Any fun stories come to mind?
I'm gonna say no. It's probably more me. I'm a little goofy when I play. So I've got to know her over the years, and it's a blessing to watch her play. We went and watched her in Naples in the shootout, and but no, I'm a little goofier, I think, than she is. But I respect her. I think we have a great rapport. I know when she needs her time, and I know when maybe she needs a pickup along the way. But I really look forward to it.
And you also have another arguably goofball in your group of Alfonso Ribeiro. Are you excited to play with him? Have you played with him before?
I am. I've never played with him. I've met him. I met him in Dallas last year, and he's just. I can't dance like him. Let's be honest. It's just kind of his go-to move back in the day. But no, I look forward to it. It's a great group of people. Mm-hmm. They do a tremendous job. No matter who you play with, you're going to have a great time. But it is fun to kind of have these special groups along the way. And, again, I look forward to it.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Derek, as an athlete, what's it like for you to be inside the ropes watching Nelly play?
It's an honor, to be honest with you. People don't understand, men or female, how good they actually are. And understanding the shots they hit. You may not see it on TV. They cut it, they draw it, the distances they hit it. And I don't pick their brain, but I definitely watch. You'd be kind of moronic not to watch. Yeah. But, I think just if people, and I said this last year, if people would come out and watch the LPGA, they are so good. They're so talented. And it's just an honor to play with them, to be honest with you.
Well, your comfort level was in another game. What did you kind of prove to yourself last year in doing that?
That I could play nervous?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's a grind for all of us. You can put anybody up here and they'll say the same thing. You get on the first tee, your hands are shaking, you're hoping to get airborne, right? Yeah. But this is my 10th year playing in these events, and I think I've learned something every year. And clearly this is my first win. And just knowing at some point you're able to hit a relatively good shot for an amateur, right? Yeah. And I think that's kind of what I learned is if you have to hit a 7-iron, you can do it.
Yeah. And I'll ask you finally, winning a playoff was cool, but going up against, arguably the GOAT made it a little more special.
Yeah, it was on her home course.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I had 4 people, my family, were rooting for me, and I know everyone else wasn't, and I don't blame anybody, but again, these are the stories that you look back at, and obviously everyone here has a great sports history or, actor, what have you. But that's my greatest golf moment ever, to stand there, me and her on 18, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and I have one chance to try to beat her, and I made a miracle putt, and so we'll see what happens this year.
All right, over here to my left.
Annika told us earlier she plans on moving up a spot, so just so you know.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure you've heard it before. The toughest thing to do in sports is to repeat based on your first answer. You've thought about that dream again, but you know what's ahead.
Well, I think the hardest thing is that, again, having even played baseball, which I did, it's hard to replicate past success. And I think you just have to go out there. It's obviously a new year, clearly. And just understand that it's a 4-day tournament, which most of us don't play in 4-day tournaments. It's a long way. You're going to hit bad shots. And how do you deal with it? And I think that's what I learned last year. You're going to make double bogeys. You're going to have bad holes. In the stable first system that we have, it doesn't really kill you. You just kind of keep moving. But at the end of the day, just like the pros, we want to be there on Sunday. Give yourself an opportunity. We don't have to make birdies like they do. Just make pars. And so that's my goal. And, I really am honored to play tomorrow. And I look forward to it. And we'll see what happens.
Doing this for 10 years, do you see the level of play among the celebrities raised?
Well, I think it's gotten more intense.
Yeah.
I think people, you start off when you're, my first year, couldn't be happier to be there. You're T22nd, whatever, which I was. And you're like, okay, that's not good enough. And you kind of work your way up the system. And then eventually you maybe are lucky enough to maybe get a top 5. And that's kind of where it started for me. It was about 5-6 years ago. You're like, okay, I know these guys. I have a chance. But it really comes down to nerves and understanding of playing in front of people and doing stuff that you aren't accustomed to doing. Everyone asks, what's more nerve-wracking, first tee or game 7? It's just no doubt first tee. And I think it's just learning how to deal with the nerves. And so, yeah, that's it.
I was going to ask about the nerves myself. I was going to ask what's more nerve-wracking, playing golf or throwing a no-hitter. But and you've done both well.
Yeah.
So how's your golf game just in general? How much do you practice?
I play a lot. I don't practice a lot. I play a lot.
Okay.
And to talk about nerves, I think everyone sitting here will tell you the same thing. We're really good on the range. I'm talking about tomorrow. And you go to the putting green, and then you go underneath, and you get the scorecard. You're still fine. And then you stand on that first tee. You're like, Oko, this is real. And they start announcing people's names. And again, I go back to last year on Saturday. I'm playing with Nelly and Annika, and they announced both of them, right? It takes about 3 minutes to announce the greatest female golfers. And I'm like, it's my turn. And you're shaking. And I didn't roll it, but it went about 150 yards to the drive. And I was like, thank you. Just move. And it's just, but again, that's I think what everybody loves about this game. It brings out a different type of nerve, and we're all competitive. We want to do well. And we'll see what happens in the next 4 days.
Amazing. Thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for your
much.
time.
Where do you mostly play?